G'day trendsetters, John with Gravel Cyclist. I'm coming to you today with an unboxing of the Garmin Edge 830, which is a computer that offers full-blown GPS navigation, touchscreen, and a whole lot more. Now, unlike other folks who review these sorts of products, this is not going to be some wanky 2-week review. In my experience, most computers fail within 6 months to 12 months of ownership. So I'll let you in on a little secret. I've already unboxed this computer and have been using it for several weeks. There it is right there, the Garmin Edge 830. Now the first thing you might notice are these contacts on the back. That is so the computer can connect to Garmin's spare battery or additional battery to provide a longer running life. And I'll overlay the model number in a moment, but this is the battery right here, and this thing is awesome, especially if you like to ride all day or night and so on. It promises, I believe, over 40 hours of run time, which is pretty fantastic. Inside the rest of the package, we have, this is a bag of Garmin mounts for the stem. There are people out there who like to run their Garmin on the stem. I do that sometimes, no worries. Here is the actual Garmin out front mount. This is actually a very solid piece of gear, I have to say. And I won't show it in this video, but in a nutshell, you can pull this little piece apart and allow the battery I just showed to basically pop onto the bottom and then power the computer. These are some shims along with a lanyard for the computer and a couple of Allen keys and a micro USB charging cable. And in the bottom of the box, we've got the quick start manual and important safety information. Some folks are going to wonder how much the computer weighs, so onto the scale it goes. 82 grams, and with the mount, 125 grams total added to your bicycle. Now it's time for a size comparison. Starting on the left, we have the original Garmin 705. I purchased this way back in 2007, I think it was. Then we have the Garmin 800. Next is the Garmin 1030, which is the big daddy of all the Garmin cycling computers and is a current model. And I will be posting a review of this particular unit sometime in the near future on the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel. Next we have the Garmin 520 Plus. Now this was recently superseded by the Garmin 530, but it's still an excellent computer, and a review will be posted eventually because it is still available on the market. And finally, we have the Garmin 830, the computer in question in this review. The one thing all of these computers have in common is they all feature a color screen because life is too short to be riding in black and white, even down to the original 705, which still works perfectly. The Garmin 830 comes preloaded with several profiles. One is gravel and the other is road. These basically contain metrics that can be customized. So in the case of gravel, you've got your speed, timer, and distance on one screen and some other metrics on the other. But none of those were to my satisfaction, so you can thankfully create your own. In the case here, I'll show you some of my own profiles in a moment, but you would go to your menu, you would select activity profiles, and you can basically create a new one, or you can also copy existing ones. So just to show you what I've done with my own profiles, and it's called course, which I use to specifically follow courses I've designed using ridewithgps.com. So on the primary data screen, I've got my speed, my distance, temperature, calories, heart rate, time of day, ride time, elevation, and grade on the first screen. So there's a lot of data there. The next screen, this is specific to the actual course itself. So I've got distance to destination, the time to destination, the ETA at destination, the distance to the next turn, and the time to the next turn. This is the altitude screen. There's nothing much going on here, mostly because the Garmin and myself are inside right now, so I don't actually have satellite connection. That's the map screen itself, and on the map screen I have my speed and a heading. I like to know which direction I'm going into. And back to the primary data screen. My road ETAP profile has speed, distance and the gearing, so it will display the front chainring and the rear gear, calories, heart rate, time of day, ride time, elevation and grade. Profile doesn't have as much detail, and also you can customize the colors of the background, etc., to help make finding the profile a bit easier. If you want to add a sensor to the Garmin, for example this Garmin Veria RTL 510, which I have reviewed on the Gravel Cyclist website, this is the radar tail light. Definitely check the video description for a link to my review of this product. It is fantastic. So I'm going to add this to the Garmin. Firstly, I have to turn the device on. So it's right there. And we'll go to the menu. I want to go to sensors. And here you can see I've already got two sensors added, the heart rate monitor and the gear for the SRAM ETAP. Add sensor. The radar falls under light or radar, so either one will work. Radar, it's already found it right there. So I want to tap, then I want to add, and it's detected it and it's added it, as you can see by the indication of the little icon in the top right. And if I go back to the home screen, I'll tap the profile, you'll see the icon is there through every screen. If you wanted to add more devices, you simply go to the menu, then go to sensors, add sensor, and you can see there's a comprehensive list of different options to choose from, including Shimano Di2 specific options. You've got speed, cadence, etc., even for the Verb camera made by Garmin. And you might notice the radar icon is flashing. That's because I have turned the radar off, so it's trying to find it. You can always temporarily disable a device by tapping its icon from the sensor screen and just tapping enable, disable. And here we are with a demonstration of the Garmin 830's navigation. You have to forgive the screen glare. I'm filming this inside of the car, so it's a little bit tricky. So I have the Garmin in my profile named course. I'm going to select navigation, then I'm going to select courses, I'm going to select save courses, and I'm going to select the Garmin 830 test route that I've created. I want to select ride, and I'm going to ask it to navigate to the start of the course, and then I'll press start. Okay, off we go. Here comes our first turn. What's really helpful is the Garmin displays the name of the street that you should be turning once you reach that point of the course. Now I'm going to intentionally go off course here, and the Garmin should complain momentarily and then offer a recalculation. It has, of course. There you go. So make a U-turn, which I'm going to do. If you catch a course misdirect early on, generally it's a matter of U-turning and getting back onto the course, and the Garmin doesn't get too confused. The thing I really like about the Garmin 830 is how clear the screen is. The quality is superb, and in this day and age, being 2019, I think life's too short to be riding around on a bicycle with a crappy black and white screen. You want clarity, and I want colour, with excellent battery life, which thus far the Garmin 830 has in spades. Hopefully you get the point of what I'm trying to accomplish with this part of the video review. Climb Pro is a feature I absolutely love. Depending on the course you've loaded into the 830, Climb Pro will calculate the climbs of note and display them as a list on your device. In this example, you can see distance to reach the start of the climb, average gradient, and length of climb. When calculating climbs along your route, I understand there are 3 factors that must be satisfied for a climb to appear on the 830. The climb needs to be at least 500 meters in length, an average gradient of 3% or higher, and at least 3,500 points in climb score. Climb score equals length of climb in meters multiplied by the gradient in percent. I've overlaid some examples to explain the rules a bit better. The Garmin won't count every hill or lump in your course, so it isn't like you're riding a hill-free ride when the Climb Pro feature doesn't build the metric into your course. But when Climb Pro is functional, seeing a visual of yourself making progress along the climb with meters remaining to the summit and vertical ascent remaining are an excellent method of metering your effort. Climb Pro doesn't always calculate the summit perfectly, especially when the climb flattens out gradually towards the top, but overall it does a really nice job. So there's a few people out there who complain that the Garmin touchscreen does not work very well when immersed with water, particularly in the southeast where it's quite humid. This is not a very scientific test. I'm going to pour some water onto the screen from a can that once contained soda. I promise you it's just water nowadays. So we'll just pour it on there. Now you did see it triggered the screen, that's to be expected, but it's still, even with moisture under my fingers, it's not perfect, but it's still working quite well. Let's do that again. So a little bit more water. And to be expected, this triggers the screen. But as you can see, it's responding very nicely. I'm going to set the screen a little bit flatter. There it is. And there's water there, but it's still working. It's not perfect, but it's working well enough where if it was raining, the Garmin's probably going to be okay. It does get a false trigger sometimes when it turns to the home screen. That was triggered by that water spot, but overall, it's pretty good. I hope you found this review to be helpful and insightful. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel and don't forget to click the bell button to be notified of future videos as they appear on the channel. I'll see you in the next video.